Ice Tray goes off in Boston. Is KD and Devin Booker the best duo in the NBA? And can Jimmy Butler repeat his iconic performance from Monday night? This is Hoop Talks. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Hoop Talks. Justin Pooni, Jelani Goodridge-Reid. Noor Zainab is back from vacation. Jelani missed her more than I did. I'm
glowing, ready
Welcome
to
back.
fight Justin on the set. Dual style swords out. Let's go, Justin.
You're not the most important person of the day today.
That's a
lie. The most important person of the day today is Crina Mustafa. Joining us today on Hoop Talks. Crina, how are you?
Feeling very nice after that intro.
Yeah, I actually remembered your name this time.
I know.
Yeah.
Wild.
Anyway.
Only 3 tries. Okay, no worries.
Nah, don't. Why are you spilling the beans like that? Nobody needs to know all that type of stuff. Anyway, guys, big day. A lot of stuff going on, of course, in the world of the NBA. But we're gonna start off with one of Noor's many teams because we know she's a resident bandwagon fan here on
Called being versatile.
Clippers.
Sorry, don't call me out.
I've never heard anybody say that about being a fan of multiple.
Anyway, look.
Versatile.
Can I ask the question here?
No.
Oh my God, we're just having fun, Justin.
No, there's no fun allowed on this. It's my segment now, so it's no fun allowed. Sorry, I'm kidding. Anyway, Ice Tray the gang went off last night. Yeah, hit him up with the thing, Jelani, right there.
It was cold in here, man. Cold.
Trey Young had 38 points last night in a 119-117 win that saved the Atlanta Hawks season. The Hawks, of course, were without DeJounte Murray, who was suspended for Game 5 after he bumped into an official and apparently threatened him and stuff like that. DeJounte, if you haven't seen on social media, was very happy. Basically thinking that the truth will set you free, basically, is what he was saying. Guys, Trey Young showed you why he is a superstar. He had 5 3-pointers. He had 13 assists. He was the main man for the Atlanta Hawks. Had the crazy 3-pointer at the end of the game. So my question to you is this. Is Trey Young a superstar that you can build your franchise around? Because there have been rumors abundantly around the Atlanta Hawks that they might move off Trey Young. Crina, you are the guest. I'll let you go first.
I mean, I think he always has been a star like that. Ever since he got drafted, he is somebody you can build your team around. That stuff takes time. And I think that's something that we haven't really allowed to happen with the Hawks. We saw them get a bit of success that one year where they made the Eastern Conference Finals. And you know what, I think we're seeing it now. I think there's also some issues. We've heard some issues, with their coach getting fired. If that was because of Trey, there might have been some friction there. But I think overall, he's an extremely talented basketball player. He can score from anywhere. His playmaking skills are pretty good. So I think he is somebody that has proven to be good.
Now, Noor, if you are the Atlanta Hawks, right, do you decide to keep Trey Young, or do you at least see what's out there, what you can get for him this offseason?
You keep the star. You never let go of the star. The whole point is to keep the star and then make sure that your team represent what your star is about. And I think that's what the problem is with the Hawks, because I think Trey Young is one of those guys, probably top 30 in the NBA, who can take
top 30. He's a little bit higher than that.
Top 20, top 15.
I would think
he's one of the best players in the league.
Top 15? Okay, yeah. I mean,
top 30
when he's playing well, yeah, top 15.
I need someone to actually make a list because everyone's top
20,
top 5.
How many top 15 players? It can't be 25 players in top 15.
No, there's not. Okay, but he's better than Pascal.
He's better than 30.
He's better than Pascal Siakam, that's for sure.
Why did you say that? Every single time.
You're such a hater.
And it just,
oh my gosh.
This is what, 2 minutes in?
This is
generational hating.
2 minutes, 30 seconds in, and finally Pascal bomb drops. It's okay. You can go a second without saying it. But as I was saying,
yes.
I think it's because he's already a star. But it's just a matter of having more help around him. Yes, DeJounte Murray's there. Murray only had, 1.5 good seasons with the Spurs. So this is not telling you that he can help Trey Young carry a team. And even then, that's not enough, because if you look around the league, you can't be a one-man show. It needs to be multiple guys helping you out. And that's what gets you over the hump. And I think if you're the Hawks, you keep Trey Young over everybody else, but you make sure that you're giving him the right resources, which I think a lot of teams just don't do. So putting the ball in the hands of a 5'3" guy and being go get us a bucket every single night.
He's not 5'3".
You know what I mean. He's pretty much
making a point.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay,
Thanks. I got
Then
it.
stop getting in the way of me saying it.
Anyway, Jelani, I'm going to ask you this. We've heard a lot of stuff about Trey being really, how does it word, unprofessional. He's not really a great leader, right? Last night, did you see leadership qualities in Trey Young that could prove otherwise, that he can be the main man in Atlanta because he fits the culture so well? You saw him come in with the Outcast hoodie.
Yo, I need that hoodie, man.
Yeah,
I need that hoodie.
Yeah,
seriously.
Send that to me, please.
Yeah. No, for sure. I saw qualities. Why? Because they were down, right? And you thought that this was a game where Boston was gonna, settle it. They're at home. Everyone's feeling nice about themselves. Let's go to the second round, play Philly. But no, they felt like, you know what? Yes, we are down in this series, down 3-1, but let's go out there and win this game. And Trey Young, he settled it down for the Atlanta Hawks, right? They followed his lead. So I do believe, yes, a lot of people talk about his characters and whatnot. Where's the evidence, right? Because you could say that, yeah, Trey Young is this and that. We hear it all the time with a lot of players, right? How they're in the locker room and how they are practice and whatever, right? But there has to be evidence there, and I haven't seen anything leading me to believe that he's not a good leader of the Atlanta Hawks. Remember, as Crina brought up a couple years ago, that run as well. So I do believe Atlanta, he fits the culture, like you said. I think he's the perfect face for that team. And I like Noor's point. If you surround him with a squad, then yes, moving forward, Atlanta can be serious. So yeah, I believe in Atlanta under Trey Young's watch.
Well, look, I was a believer there'd be top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference before the season. It didn't pan out, and I'm grown enough to admit that I was wrong.
That's good.
But look, it was very impressive that win last night. Trey I think he had 16 in the fourth quarter? Yeah, 16 points in the fourth quarter. Showed up big, hit the big 3-pointer. The one thing I do want to say about that 3-pointer though is, where was the defense? You got to press up on him.
I thought he would press up.
I thought they'd press up, but they basically let him take the shot.
Because Jalen was thinking that he was going to go to his right a little bit more, so he was
I would have
thrown
thrown a double at him too. But
yeah.
Anyway, let's go to the desert where the Phoenix Suns eliminated someone's Los Angeles Clippers.
I mean, that was also your chance to say to the desert where Noor just came from.
I was just gonna,
No.
Justin's not gonna think like that.
Well, no, it's kind of different because Nevada, right?
We're going to the valley.
It's different.
No, it's
different.
not. Anyway,
Arizona,
we're not talking about geography right now. We're talking about the geography
right.
of
Or
That's
my
right.
trip.
And we're talking about geography of buckets. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker put up mad buckets.
So we are talking about geography.
Yeah, but we're talking about the geography of buckets.
And how does that even work?
Look,
geography?
just let me ask the questions.
guys.
All right, guys? Anyway, Devin Booker at 47 points, KD at 31. They eliminated some of these Los Angeles Clippers, 136-130, 4-1 series win, minus Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So, Noor, I'm going to ask you this question because I know you're a big Clippers fan, like a Celtics fan, like a Raptors fan, and wherever else you're a fan of.
An NBA fan.
I'm kidding. Okay?
Liking the sport.
Just hey, let me ask the question.
The control in this one.
I know.
Is or are Kevin Durant and Devin Booker the best duo in the NBA playoffs currently?
Yeah. Like, who else is there? For sure. And you know why? It's because they're healthy. Let's keep that into consideration. What we're seeing right now happen in the NBA playoffs is a lot of people who aren't able to continue with their bodies. And I think just the fact that you got two guys who are staying healthy, it automatically makes them good. Does that mean they're the best if everybody else is healthy? Probably not. We will see. But the fact that they had great games and what they've been doing is fantastic. But I do want to point out the fact that, I'm not saying it as a Clippers fan or anything, but they've been without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And that last game, they still managed to keep it very close, where I thought anything could go down. Norman Powell could do something to make it happen. Westbrook could have a very clutch moment towards the end. So the fact that these two guys are on this team, which again, we know there's not a lot of depth beyond the four guys, but the Clippers were without their two best players and without Paul George the entire season. So probably they're one of their best defenders on the court. So that is, to me, says a lot about this Clippers team and their tenacity and their ability to go around and have the next man up mentality through Norman Powell, through Russell Westbrook, through even Zubac the other night. Like, those are great players who, if you see Kawhi healthy and Paul George, it's going to be a bad thing to go through.
Well, their season's over. So let's stick with the Suns.
I'm so rude.
That's karma for all the stuff
so
you said
rude.
to me and
Whoa,
Jelani.
whoa.
See,
He
was
was
waiting.
involved. You can't talk about karma.
It doesn't matter.
He was waiting to
She
get that off.
came
You
on
see
Hoop
the-
Talks and basically talked the most crap about me and Jelani for picking the Suns after game one. It's
That
true.
is true.
Yeah, okay.
She came after my guy D
Okay,
Book.
no problem whatsoever.
Speaking of D-Book,
Can't even defend myself.
Speaking of D-Book, oh, go ahead, finish your point.
No, it's
No,
fine.
finish your point. It's fine.
You can't do that to me anymore. Just go. We got one more thing left.
Anyway, Crina, Devin Booker has been probably the best player on the Phoenix Suns this entire playoff series. When I look at him and I look at the hierarchy of the Phoenix Suns, I think this is his team. They go as he goes, right? Again, Kevin Durant, he can fit in any system. But for the Suns to win a championship, does Devin Booker have to be that lead dog?
Yeah, well, it is his team. I mean, you also have to take a look at the history that he's had with this team. It's also another thing to be comfortable with the system. You've been around for such a long time, and you've been appointed the leader. So yeah, like it's great to have KD on your team, who's probably one of the best basketball players of all time, but he's fitting into your system. You're not fitting into his system.
Jelani, I'm gonna ask again. You can answer that question I asked Crina, but I also want to get your thoughts on how KD's looked since coming back from injury and what you've seen so far from him in the playoffs.
Yeah, so real quick, yeah, I think it's definitely D-Book's team, and I love what he's done. He stayed true to Phoenix. Remember, a lot of fans felt like he should have requested a trade or wanted out. He said, no, I'm going to build a winner here. Obviously, yes, there's some talent that came, right? But he stayed true. And as for Kevin Durant, we've seen how he's progressed after, his injury and, being traded. I think that he's had a good year. If you're looking across the board and just look away from the injury and the time he's missed, he's had a good year overall, and I do expect him to have a good series moving forward against the Nuggets. He's gonna obviously have to show up there, but yeah, right now they're just trying to figure things out, right? Even Booker has talked about it. They're trying to figure out how they work, because they've only played.
It's still a very new team.
It is a new team. It's a new group. They're trying to figure things out, and Monty Williams as well. I think Monty has to figure out a way to get the ball more in his hands moving forward if they want to win, right? Because it can't obviously just be D-Book. It can't be Chris, because Chris is just not the scorer anymore that he once was. Not even the playmaking. It's not at that level that it used to be. So we'll see what happens with KD, but I trust him.
The only concern for me with the Phoenix Suns is this. You know what you're going to get from D-Book and Kevin Durant. Look, they went combined for 78 points yesterday. The next was DeAndre. If DeAndre could chip in with 20 points and on a nightly basis, I think the Phoenix Suns are probably going to win the NBA title. They look like a very good team. Now again,
Bold prediction,
they were injuries involved, but I just think with those two guys and the baskets,
it's just the depth factor to me, though.
Yeah,
I don't know, how can they really last themselves. They got super lucky actually that they only went 5 games against the Clippers. Imagine they won 7. Imagine they won 7. Now not only are you tired, but there also might be more opportunities for injuries happening. So I'd be worried going down the line when it comes down to injuries and fatigue, just because you got a bunch of people.
We will preview the Suns and Nuggets series in a couple minutes. But last thing quickly, I just want to get your thoughts on tonight's game. Miami up 3-1, going back to Milwaukee to knock out the Bucks, the number 1 seed. Jimmy Butler, of course, historic 56 points, 67% from the field, 37% from three-point range, 9 rebounds as well to go with that. He was absolutely electric.
Amazing.
Unbelievable performance. Can he duplicate that, or can he have a somewhat of a similar performance to knock off the Bucks in 5? Jelani, you first, quickly.
I think that it's gonna be tough to duplicate that. Obviously, 56 points, but I expect him to be tired, right? After all he did, especially in that second half in the fourth quarter, he's gonna be tired tonight. Obviously, you're gonna need him if you want to beat the Bucks on the road, but it's gonna be tough.
Crina?
I think the Bucks take this one, but ultimately Miami might be able to defeat them.
Really? I think this might be a 3-1 coming from behind for the Bucks.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Wow.
Wow, they agree.
They agree.
Whoa.
I am shocked, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen. This is crazy.
This is Hoop Talks.
This is Hoop Talks. This is Hoop Talks where the
Talks.
amazing happens. I agreed with Noor on the Milwaukee Bucks winning in 7. They think. What do you guys think again?
I think Miami still might be able to take it,
Okay, what'd you?
but they're Milwaukee's gonna grab it.
I got the Bucks in the finals. I have to stick
Okay,
with
we'll
them.
stick with the Bucks. This has been Hoop Talks. We'll be back again on Friday.